Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and the craft/dining room. Today it's another installment of Cathy Makes a Card. In this video format, what we do is we take some things we haven't used before, or maybe we've used them before. Today we haven't used them before, and then we're gonna make some. It's going to be a live build that I'm going to chop down a little bit so that we're not here all week, and it's casual. I'm in my pajamas. Pajamas. I have no makeup on. Okay, I did put a little bit on my lips, maybe a little bit on my eyes, but the skin, it's all natural. Let's be real. If you're coming here for fashion tips, good luck. My card project featuring some simple stenciling and ink blending and die cutting is coming up next. Hello, it's me in the circle. I'll be here for a while until I zoom in and then the circle disappears. So for now, I'll remember every now and then to glance up. This is the bundle that I am working with today. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. This is called a Little Love Layering Stencil Bundle. And I gotta tell you, I'm a little excited about it. Okay, there's a very cute stamp set for working with the bundle. There are coordinating dies to cut out the florals and the leaves of this bundle. Plus, there's a word and shadow die, which that just excites me to no end because it's a very fluency die, and that, my friends, is really nice when you have it already cut out for you. So these are the layering stencils from Gina K. So you've got your florals, you've got your greenery, and then you've got the details for the greenery. So I have been watching people play, and Gina, thank you for sending this to me. She did send this to me. I am able to play with this, and so I'm super excited. So those are the products that we're starting with today. The thing that I haven't picked yet are inks. So I'm going to go across the way out of the view and pick some Gina K inks that I want to work with today, primarily pinks, oranges, and greens. So I'm going to grab those. I'll be right back. So before I dive into this project, one thing I want to point out is I'm using brand new products, but what layering stencils? What the heck? Oh my gosh. Okay, we need to pause that. Okay, that was a little weird. My Archon mounts thing just started sinking. Let's continue. What I was going to say is any stencil you have can work. Even if you don't have a layering stencil, you can take a stencil, right, with one pattern and try what I'm about to do just by moving your stencil around and playing with some colors like what I'm doing. You don't have to have the exact products. And that's one thing I really want to stress, because I know some of you out there, a lot of you, we might set craft budgets for the new year. So let me just say I honor that. We're good. Namaste. But I'm playing with some new stuff today. So I am also going to do something that I saw my friend Simon Hurley do. And I'm going to put a card up on one side to the video that I watched of Simon's, because I would have never thought to do this with stencils, and that is to actually use your MISTI to put your stencils in and use magnets to hold it in place. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my insert out, right? I'm not going to use it. Get that like that. Okay, I cut this to be 6.5 wide by, I think that's 7. And the reason why is because I figured, well, you know, I can clean off my MISTI pretty well, but what I'm going to do is just do what Simon did. Just put this right in the corner, right? Pop a magnet down, right? So the magnet's not going to move. And I think that's so smart. So I'm going to do that. But first I'm going to have some coffee. Next up, I'm going to grab, I have some of Gina's new blending brushes. And I want to talk to you, and you know what? I have to cut things. I have a lot of blender brushes. If you look over my shoulder in any video opening, you're going to see that. Like, I have a bunch. I've purchased a ton of them. And here's my story with blender brushes. When I started card making, oh my gosh, they really are soft. Ooh, feel that. When I started card making, I tried to ink blend with foams. I couldn't do it. I'm no Laura Basson. Try as I may, I can't get that smooth blend that she achieves with those foams. And so when the brushes first started showing up, I was thrilled because it meant I could get a soft blend. And so for me, I am going to be using these Gina K brushes only with Gina K inks. Why not? Again, I work in the craft industry, so and I'm in my pajamas, so I think we know about my wardrobe, right? I am going to start this little project with the pink brush. Now, I do have Gina's whole set, and I haven't done the clips yet, and I'll show you that really quick too. I have the brush holder from Make It by Marco that comes in the kit. I believe the day that I am recording this, it is sold out. Actually, you know what? While I'm here, let's just do it. I'm going to go ahead while I'm here, clip on my pink clip so that I always know that's the pink brush. Although with white brushes, it is a little different because you can actually see the color. Let's get that on there too. All right, so we now have my pink brush and my green brush, and the rest of these are here for now. I will do my other brushes, but today we're only focusing on 2 colors. And the thing is, you know, you can use one brush for your pinks, you can use one brush for your greens, and all you have to do is kind of wipe off in between and you're going to be golden. So everything's pushed into the corner of the MISTI. So I'm going to load up this first brush like that. And you can see the colors start to show up. You know, you're just going like this, getting it on there, and you've got it, right? I think for me in the foams, one of the things that happened was it just didn't allow me to get a good handle. And the way I like to hold a brush is I hold it like this in my hand, and I do like to put a little pressure on the head, not a ton, but here's what we're going to do. We're just going to add a little bit of this pink to the whole flower. One of the things I do love about stencils is you just kind of get this cool shadow look without even really trying, because it's, you know, wherever the stencil is, right, you've got that little edge there. I just think that is so cool, and it gives you this depth and dimension. So again, put that magnet. Oh, this is, again, Simon Hurley. That kid's going places. I'm going to go like that and just kind of fill in with the white, okay? And I don't really know what I'm doing quite yet because I've never used these before, but I think this is going to be kind of fun. I'm going to be die cutting the stencil stuff. I don't even think I'm going to worry about these little flowers because I do want to do a card that cuts some out with the dies. All right, so color number 1 is in place, and that's just filling the flower with the innocent pink. I'm just going to go like this, but honestly, it doesn't even really matter. I'm going to grab, this is the Dusty Rose. I'm just going to take a little right at the tip, right? Just at the tip. The nice thing is these are pretty all-purpose brushes in terms of size. So I've got it loaded up. I'm going to tap a little bit off, and I'm just going to focus here on the center. Just a little bit more on the center of each one, kind of just give that, you know, a little bit of color in the middle, right? You see that? Super simple. All right. Okay. You know what? I forgot. I need orange. Okay. Because I do want to use orange. So I'm going to come in here. Let's see here. Get my orange clip. True story. I film with an iPhone. And I had a very old iPhone for many, many years. I've been filming for many years with an iPhone 7 Plus. And when I got this new iPhone 11, not the latest and greatest, I realized that my hands, you see a little more detail, because I've had people say your hands are so young. And I'm like, what? Okay. And that's okay. Aging, my friends, is a gift. Okay. Gonna load this guy up like this. Okay. Again, we're just getting the sweet mango on here because I want to combine the sweet mango with the Dusty Rose and the innocent pink. So I'm going to tap a little off. And the way I'm going to do this one is I'm just going to go on the outside, just on the outside here, just on the outside of each flower. And see, it doesn't matter if I go off here, right, with the cardstock, totally fine. This is so cool though, how it is really staying in place. Would have never known that. But I'm just going around the edges here to get a little of the sweet mango. Now, why does sweet mango work in this instance? Well, if you work in rainbow order, which is always, well, it's always my guide when I'm picking colors, I just think, what side of the rainbow do I want to work on? So this is the Roy side, red, orange, yellow, but I'm not putting any yet. Well, I might put some yellow actually. You know what? I might put yellow in the middle of these flowers. Then it would truly be a Roy color palette. But you know that, right? I mean, it's not, I'm not going red. My reds are always pinks, but that way I know these are going to work, you know, these are going to work together. Okay, we'll just add that in like that. And then all we've done here is we've just created a little layered color of flower. And the beautiful thing about Gina K inks, and I do get asked a lot, what are my favorite inks for dye inks? I love Gina's inks. They dry back so beautifully. They have like a smoothing agent. And here I'm just going to go right back over the centers here. And so they look a little deeper when you're starting, and then when they dry, they're good. So because I'm not going to do anything with these other flowers, although, you know what I think I'm going to do? Well, I don't really need to do this. These are all going to line up beautifully. The little circles would be really helpful for you if you're doing this not on a MISTI, to color those in, so then you always have a dot to line up on. In fact, I'm going to just do one, and you'd know where to line up that next one. Okay, I'm going to pick this up and see, but the beautiful thing is, even if I decide, oh no, I do want to have something else on it, but when I lift it up, look at how pretty those flowers are. Oh, that is so cute. Okay, so next step, I'm going to just wipe this down a little. In fact, maybe I'll just get these out of the way. I will wash this really well, but right now I'm just gonna, well, actually, you know what? I'll go give it a quick rinse under the faucet, and then I'll be right back. So the next template to come in is the greenery, okay? And even though I'm going to be die cutting some of this greenery, I'm still gonna just take my magnet, pop it right down. Are we right in the, and I have extra magnets too that sometimes I don't use with my MISTI, but I'm gonna pop this down here. And I like taking the insert out, which I'm sure this is what Simon did too, but because it sticks harder to your magnetic MISTI surface. And of course, I've kind of covered up the area so that if I got any ink on here, some inks are going to stain. Just make sure you know your inks. That is one thing Simon said, and I agree. You got to make sure you know. But even if you did stain the underside of this, I don't think it matters because it's a tool, right? We're using the tool. Okay, we are loading this bad boy up with the Jellybean green. And just tap a little. And then all I'm going to do, and look, see that lines up perfectly so you know you're good. I'm just going to add greenery here. I'm going, now I have a light hand, so I'm holding it kind of like this, right? And actually, I guess if I'm being honest, I do hold it like this a lot, don't I? I like this sort of side hold for light hands, right? Let's kind of come in here. And I kind of gonna all over. I just think this design too is super smart. Like I love it when people think and make things that work really well. So bravo, Gina. All right, going over here too. And again, just, you know, whatever pressure I feel, that's what I'm gonna do. And I think the thing that's cool about layering stencils and stencils in general is that every time you make something, they're gonna look a little different, you know? It's never gonna look exactly the same. And I think that's cool. And for someone like me who loves precision, and that, let's be real, that's why I like to stamp with a MISTI stamping tool, to actually admit that I like a little haphazard fun with the MISTI or with stenciling, I think that's a step up for me. I think that's good enough, right? Because I'm not going to die cut all of them. I'm just going to cut some of this out, and I haven't even decided yet what it's going to be. But deep. Okay, I'm picking you up. Look at that. Isn't that cool? And again, it's okay that I don't have those flowers in the middle because we're not doing anything with those. I'll just wipe you off for now. Now, let's move on to the detail piece, okay? Again, want to make sure we're pushed up in there. Want to make sure we put the name down at the bottom here because all those stencils have been lined up as such. You know what? Gosh, yellow would be cute in the center, wouldn't it? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to mask off these centers for now, like that, so that I don't forget. I'm going to grab another brush. I probably should have done this all at once, but what's the fun in that? Because listen, aren't those good sounds? I've talked about this before with some of you. Some of you know from watching past videos, but I'm a fan of ASMR. Not all of it, but some of it I find to be very relaxing. Okay, I thought grass green would be nice for the detail. So same brush, right? I don't need to change brushes. I'm gonna load this up like that. All right, and then I'm just gonna add the details like that. Easy, breezy. Zach Parise. Do you know who that is? I've never said that before. He's a hockey player for the Minnesota Wild. At least I think he is. Easy peasy, Zach Parise. I like that. I think that's going to be my new catch saying. All right, we're just adding that little bit of detail. Take you off and little detail, right? It's just so basic and simple, but it's just so smart because it all works together. Now, the reason I'm wiping this down before going back in is that I don't want to have any of this green get muddied up. Let's see, are we clear enough? Yeah, I think we are. Okay, we got to go right back in though, same place, because now all I'm going to do here is just add a little bit of sweet corn to the center of each bloom. I think that'll be nice, you know? And the other thing that I think is cool is it, you know, it looks like I've done all this fancy stamping and I haven't, so we're just gonna add that right in the center, right in the center, right in the center, like that, right? And here's what's cool too, like you don't have to get these brushes seasoned. They work from the get-go, and I think that was one of my biggest problems. I'm going to try to create a little shadow on each side. I think that was one of my problems with the foams is I feel like the foams really did need to be seasoned. And the blender brushes, oh my gosh, they are good to go from the get-go. So there we go. I have these little pretty florals and greens. Isn't that nice? Now I'm going to cut these out. I just want to make sure I'm perfectly lined up, and I think that I am. These are going to be very easy to die cut. And again, this is just, again, such smart, is that like that? Such smart design just to have, you know, a stencil and coordinating dies. Like, I think that's really smart, and I'm just going to stand by that statement. I design products too, and so there are things that I see other companies do that I just get, I'm so impressed. Like because I don't always think in layered ways. I wish that I did, but it is not really my area. Okay, cut. I don't think that's, I don't know how many of the florals I'm going to use, but what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to run this through my Gemini Junior, which is, wait, can you see it? No, nope, it's not there. It's over here. All right, I had to pause that a little strangely because I was not able to keep filming. I pulled my mic out, but look at that. Oh, did it just miss the edge? Oh no, I had it just too far over to the edge, but that's okay. That looks great. Oh my goodness, how cute. Okay, so now you can kind of see how I can work my way through here. And now I'm gonna pick you up. I think I'm only gonna use maybe 2 blooms from this because I got a little too close to that, but that might not matter actually. I'm gonna go ahead and get all this, get a few more things cut out, and then I'll come back in and we'll move on to the next step. So I didn't quite get all of it perfectly cut because I was a little too close, but honestly, that might be okay if I'm just layering some of that foliage. So I haven't decided yet what exactly I'm doing. So I haven't really figured this out yet, but I do think warm glitter would look better with this than something else. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna max out the space here. How can I do this to make sure, well, I save every last bit of glitter cardstock because, you know, I mean, it's glitter cardstock. So I'm just going to tape that like that so it doesn't shift. And I'm going to go ahead and run this through the Gemini Junior as well. Okay, hopefully it cut like a dream because let's be real, it's a Gemini Junior. I do love my Gemini Junior. I gotta tell you, it helps immensely with my wrist issues. So let's just pop, oh, look at that. Look at that, I can already see it coming through. It's so dainty, oh my gosh. Look at that thing. Did I get, oh, did I miss part of it? No, no, did we get it? Or, oh, I think it's shifted on the paper, shoot. I don't have another, oh my gosh, this is so delicate. I was thinking about stacking this, but there's no way. It's so dainty. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Oh, I barely got that. I think I even cut part of it off. Didn't I? Well, let's get you. Look at that. That is like the most delicate, dainty little love thing I've ever seen. And I think I cut some of it off. Well, we'll soon know because I'm going to do the shadow layer. But here's the thing. I think I will do the shadow layer just in a white, you know, and I'm saving that. We're not using that. So let me find another piece of cardstock so I can go and cut the shadow layer out. All right. So now I have my shadow layer beautifully cut out. I did kind of get a little wasteful with that cardstock, but that's okay. And now what you can see is how awesome. It's just so dainty. Oh my goodness gracious. Now comes the part that I don't know what we're gonna do. Okay, taking out the greetings. Oh, come on now. Come on, Gina. There we go. Oh, but I forgot that these have details for the, oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna have to stamp the details because you know what? That's really cute. I forgot about that. We're gonna stamp the details before we get too far in. So, well, here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to take this little guy like that, and I'm going to stamp it in, oh, get in there, like that, in the Dusty Rose. Picking you up with the Misty door, like that. And you didn't move. I'm going to do the Dusty Rose because that's the darker of the two color. And even though my stamp is pretty new, I think it'll be okay. I think it'll stamp just fine. Although, you know what I need? I need my Chucky. Well, actually, this is called the Debbie. Debbie, a lovely reader out there, made this for me. Seriously, like, look here. It's like I feel like it's an Academy Award. Isn't that lovely? Well, I guess I could just do that, just slightly off like that. It'll be fine. It's going to look great. So let's just do it real quick like that. And that just adds a little bit of detail to the center of those florals. Super cute. Just like that. Just perfect. Okay. So I'm not going to fold anything just yet, but I'm going to go under the assumption that I'm going to do a top folding card base, and it's going to be one layer, but well, I mean kind of one layer. I'm going to score it first, but I'm not going to fold it. Don't want to fold it yet because now I can actually design how I want it to be and then also do the stamping. So I think, oh yeah, you can totally see that score line. Isn't that good? Okay. Moving right along, I'm going to be gluing the little glittery guy onto the shadow base. And I'm going to be using some spray adhesive. I had to take a break in between filming and kind of move stuff around a little. So let's do that. I'm going to just spray this off camera so that I can quickly glue this delicate little golden magical die cut to the base. So sometimes I like to go at a different angle than I thought I was going to go at. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's start up here. Well, shoot. Yeah, I'm going to go like that. This is so, oh my goodness. It's so delicate. I'm afraid to commit, but let's commit. All right. Calm down, Kathy. You can do this. Nope, get in there. That. Oh. Okay, picking it up quickly before it sticks because I'm not quite sure what there we go. Get up there. Get up there like that. It's just so delicate, but I can do this. Come on now. Yep. You come up there. And you're a little lower than I'd like you to be. Let's see, can I get you up? You can. Let's pick you up just a tiny bit without tearing. All right. Pick you up just a little bit. It has a little more give than you want it to, than you think it's going to have. How about that? Getting you over here. A little bit there. I'm going to pick you up a little too. It's so delicate. I know I want to pretend like I'm better at this than I am. Oh my gosh. But I'm not. I'm not. Okay. There we go. Took long enough. Pressing you down. And we'll just let that set up for just a second. So while that's doing that, I'm just going to put some foam squares of the thin variety on the back. And yes, taking a break while filming, the light changed completely, but hopefully that's okay. And I'm also going to put thin foam squares on the back of this as well. I want to get the design here kind of how I want it to be, because I want a little bit of flowers coming up, or a little bit of greenery coming up, a little bit of greenery coming down. I'm going with just the one. I realize I have other greenery to use, but you know, I started working like trying to layer stuff in, and I thought, you know, no. So we're gonna simplify the process here. So I have this general arrangement, right? And I want there to be equal side from side to side, and then I want to bring in one of the greetings, and I think the greeting I'm going to use is "You so very much." I think that'd be very cute on there. So I'm going to take that off. I want this to be really nestled in, and I think like there, you know? So that's going to be tucked right under, and actually I'm going to bring you up a little bit just to get a little clearance. And looking straight down on that, I think that's pretty straight. I'll check it in a second. Let's just pick that up and see. No, that's not. Can you see how it's off here? But you know what I could probably do? I could probably align it. If you take a little white underneath and just leave it in that position. But I'm just going to make sure you keep one side on. And I think that's still off though. I want it to be up a little bit like that. How does that look? Picking this back up, bringing it over. That's better. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I am going to get these guys out of the way for now. All right, those are going to come in later. And all I'm going to do is ink it up with a little bit of, where's my ink here? This is Onyx Black from Gina K, just a really nice black ink. I'm only going to press this once, bringing it over, and I'll move so my face isn't covering the magic, and bring in my tool and lift. Perfect. All right, now my greeting is stamped and I'm ready to start building the card. So I am going to fold this down. Where's my bone folder? All right, I'm gonna just give that a nice press. Pressing you down. Now, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna pop this up at the top, so I'm gonna take all the little backers off. We're just gonna place this right over the top of the "Love You so very much." Popping that down with about equal from side to side. Oh, that little swoop-de-doo. I'm telling you, that is just so cute. Okay, so I'm going to pop this in here, and each of these little guys is just going to go right onto the card panel. So I'll just take liquid glue, right? I kind of don't need a whole lot, just a little bit here, a little bit here. So then this little guy, right, is going to come up from that side of the card like that. That space and that space about equal. Pressing that down. Oh yeah, that's cute. Well, let's leave that because I have another idea. And then I'm going to take this off. Have I talked yet about how much I love the thin foam squares from Scrapbook Adhesive? They have, like, in my opinion, the perfect amount of loft, because I do like dimension, but when your card starts to get crazy bulky, you know, you could run into mail issues. But the thin foam squares are the perfect amount. So here we're going to just, again, pop that right in, so that's about the same and that's about the same. Oh, I think that's really cute. But there's another little thing I want to do that adds a little into kind of the open spaces. So 3 there, and then I'm going to come down. Do I want to have a bigger one? No, I don't think I want a big one. I just want to have like 1 here and then a tiny one. Do I have? Oh, I do have tiny ones. I love sequin and confetti sets that will have different sizes, because then it just gives you a little more play. Isn't that nice? Okay, so let's glue those down. We good? Boop. Let's pick you up. Boop. That was a quiet boop. 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 A little more. And that, my friends, that's the finished card. I think it turned out really well, right? It's so simple. Everything's kind of shifted off to the side, so this is kind of an asymmetrical design. But I think that looks so pretty. And you know what else would look so cool? Another nice thing about Gina K inks when you use them is when you choose an envelope to match, they look fantastic. Let me grab one really quick. So here I've just grabbed an innocent pink envelope. It would also look nice to do one with a sweet mango or the sweet corn. Any of the colors would look great, but that's it. That's the finished card. Love how it turned out. All the supplies are linked below the video, but keep in mind, you can take any of these ideas and just work with the products that you have on hand, and you'll be golden. Thanks so much for watching today. I would love to have you become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. And if you do subscribe, be sure to hit the gray bell below the video so that you don't miss the next time I post. Here are a couple other videos that you might be interested in watching. Thanks so much and have a great day.